Hey everybody, Star 6 Wars 1 here, and welcome to the next video for Full Metal Alchemist Month 2. For this one, we're going to be doing a countdown of the top 15 homunculi of Full Metal Alchemist. Now, I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I have been looking forward to this countdown. It's been a while since I've done one of the countdowns for Full Metal Alchemist, and I've kind of missed them. And I've been playing this one for quite some time, so I'm quite excited to do it. Now, a couple ground things I need to mention. First up, Dante from Full Metal Alchemist 2003 will not be included in this, as technically she is a human, not homunculi. This is saved solely for the homunculi. That also means that Father will be included since he is a homunculus. And also, there will be massive spoilers. So with all that out of the way, let us begin. Number 15 should be obvious at this point. I've talked about him a lot. It's Envy 2003. I fucking hate him. Honestly, guys, this is the one character that's like kind of an obvious choice for number 15 because frankly, this guy is an asshole, and the things he's done in the anime just is terrible. I hate this bastard. I think what I hate the most about him, though, is how he dies. He dies getting everything he wanted. Getting to kill Hohenheim. Fuck you, Envy. You killed Hughes, you killed Ed, he gets better, but you have to kill Hohenheim, succeed in everything, and die satisfied, you son of a bitch. Yes, I don't like him. Number 14, Sloth from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I'm gonna be quite honest with you guys, I really do not like this character for the particular reason of I just find him boring and annoying. When you have to hear the words, living is such a pain, this is such a pain, that is such a pain, everything, oh, it gets really annoying. Now, to be fair, I think there are moments, Sloth has his moments, but honest to God, I really do not like him. And I think he is far more annoying than it's actually worth. Number 13, Envy from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. There is only one reason I prefer this Envy, and I'll explain why in just a moment, but I'm going to be honest with you. This guy is debatably worse than the 2003 version. He started in a war, enjoyed starting a war, and is just an overall prick, and he also kills Hughes, so he's just as bad, if not worse, than his 2003 counterpart. And that's actually pretty hard to top. However, there is one reason he gets higher than the 2003 version. His death. His death is pathetic. Not in the way that it's like oh, I hate his death. No, it's just, his entire existence has just been his jealousy over humanity. It's like, and him committing suicide is one of those things like kind of more fitting an end for him. And honestly, I don't know if I would say I felt bad for him. I really didn't. It's more that I just pitied him, as it's like his existence just was worthless and he just caused all this destruction and mayhem. Goodbye and good riddance. Honestly, I don't like the character at all, but the death was enough to put him this high. Number 12, Pride from Full Metal Alchemist 2003. I'm going to be very honest with you guys here. I'm not really bothered with King Bradley himself. I thought he was a pretty decent character, and was just perfectly fine as is. Once he's revealed as Pride, however, I'm not going to lie, he just becomes dull and boring. He had a bit more of a character and a bit more likability when it was revealed he wasn't Pride. So quite frankly, it's one of those things of, you wasted such a good character and made him just a sloppy mess. And honestly, I just really did not like the fact that they reveal him as Pride. It's not the whole Pride-Wrath debate for me, it's more so that I just think he's boring. And overall, I think he should have just remained King Bradley instead of being revealed as a homunculus, as I actually think that hurt his character more than it helped. But that's just me. Overall, I don't really like this version of King Bradley, but that's just me. Number 11, Lust from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I'm gonna be very honest with you guys here. Her character is extremely one-note. I don't necessarily think Lust is a bad character per se. I just think in this adaptation, she's just one note, and I wish she was more, especially after seeing 2003. So, it's kind of a disappointment to see her like this. And, well, some of the scenes she had were kind of awesome, especially the fight in her final episode, where she died. I'll be honest, other than that, there's not much to the character. She's just a bitch for the sake of being a bitch. Sorry, but after you go from 2003 Lust to this, no thanks, I'll take 2003 any day. Number 10, Sloth from Fullmetal Alchemist 2003. I'm gonna be kind of honest here, I love the concept of this Sloth. The fact that she is meant to be the creature that Ed and Al created, and that she turned into this homunculus, I think is a brilliant idea. Her concept is amazing. I wish her character was. Honestly, the big problem with her, and the reason she's this low for me, is that I found her character kind of boring and just dull. It is nothing against the concept of her. I think it's a brilliant idea. I just wish the personality was a bit more fleshed out. That's my big complaint with the character, but it's a really big one. And it prevents her from getting any higher. I'll give her this much though, she's still better than living is such a pain. God, I hate Brotherhood Sloth. Other than that though, honestly, she's kind of dull, but has an interesting concept. Number 9, Wrath from Fullmetal Alchemist 2003. I will be honest once again, kind of like the last one. I think Wrath has an extremely great concept, and I love it for that. But I find the character slightly annoying from time to time, especially in later episodes of the series. I found him incredibly annoying and just wanting him to stop talking for a few minutes. I give him credit. I do think he's a good character, and his appearance and death in Conqueror of Shambhala kind of redeems him for me, but not enough to get any higher. Honestly, again, great concept. I wish the character was a little less annoying. Number 8, Father from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Now, this is the only homunculus that is not a part of the 7 Deadly Sins scenario, as he's technically the creator of them in Brotherhood. I'm gonna be very honest with you guys here. I really like him when he is not wearing the von Hohenheim clone suit. In his original form, in his second and third form, I actually really like him and think he is an interesting character. But he can be so dull for so long that it just, it's kind of frustrating and prevents him from being any higher. As for a good majority of the anime, up until closer to the end, he's kind of dull. But other than that, I think he's a really interesting character, and good enough for me. Number 7, Gluttony from Fullmetal Alchemist 2003. Now, Gluttony is, out of all the 2003 series homunculi, I find Gluttony to be the most one note. All he really wants to do is eat people. He cares very much for lust. And for me, that's really about it. He's not a bad character, and I can't grow myself to hate him. But honestly, there's nothing really for me to big time love. I like Gluttony and all, and I think that his design in Conqueror of Shambhala is both disgusting and kind of cool at the same time. But there's a lot of things that I have issue with him. Like the fact that that's all he is just a one-note homunculi, unlike the rest of 2003's cast. But overall, he's not a bad character, just kind of one note. Number 6. Gluttony from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I am going to be very honest with you guys here. For the most part, both this and number 7, which is both Gluttonies, really are one note, both of them. They are basically the same character each time. I think this one gets a tad bit more development, and that's kind of why I prefer him over the other Gluttony, but honestly, for me at least, that's really not saying much. I find both Gluttonies to be around the same rank. I would tie them, but I didn't want to make a tie for this countdown. Either way, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood's Gluttony is about the same, so there's not much to comment on. Except his death, which I actually found kind of depressing. It was just, kind of felt sorry for Gluttony. And being one of the few homunculi I felt sorry for when they died. But again, that might be just me. I actually really like this Gluttony, despite him being a little one note. Number 5. Pride from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I am going to be very honest, the very first time I saw Pride, he scared the crap out of me. He was dangerous, he was powerful, and just creepy. But honestly, I found that they did his concept extremely well. They did everything right with him, and I just really like what they did with Pride from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. And he's a lot better than the 2003 version, in my opinion. But overall, I really liked Pride. Not much more I can say there. Number 4. Lust from Fullmetal Alchemist 2003. I'm going to be very honest here. I really like this version of Lutz, especially after my most recent watch through of it. She is an extremely complex character, and in my opinion, a very believable one. She has great development, and doesn't feel one note unlike her Brotherhood version. She is a complex character with complex motivations, wanting to become human, and wanting to see what these memories that are cursing her are. And honestly, I found her death another one that was kind of sad. But kind of fitting, sadly. Honestly, Lust in this version was just great. Everything that the Brotherhood version had, but with more complexity, which I always like. Number 3. Greed from Fullmetal Alchemist 2003. I am not going to lie to you guys. Of all the 2003 homunculi, Greed is my favorite. I love his concept, being a trapped rogue homunculus. I love his ability with the ultimate shield, where it covers his entire body. Love his design, both Ultimate Shield version and his regular one. I find the character really fascinating, and maliciously evil, and still enjoyable. This is probably like the rogue done right. I really enjoyed Greed from start to finish. Even if he didn't appear all that much in this version, I still think he left an impact, and I do really like his death, because it seemed like he was genuinely wanting to help Ed, so that no more would suffer his fate, and that Ed would be given the shot to kill the homunculi later on. So honestly, Greed set up pretty much the rest of the series from here on. And after his death, the tone got a little darker. At least in my opinion. But overall, he is my favorite homunculus from the 2003 version, and for pretty good reason. Number 2, Greed from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Now, before I continue on any further with this entry, I will not be talking about Ling at all. He is an entirely different character that shares the same body as Greed, which is technically Ling's body, but still. I am not going to lie to you guys. I love this version of Greed. His first incarnation was just the exact same person as in the 2003 version, and I really enjoyed the 2003 version, so I really liked that version as well. When he became Greed 2, he was basically the same, except loyal to the homunculi for a while, till he killed his friend, and betrayed the homunculi, turned rogue again, and just was all in it for number 1. Honestly, I like him a lot because he pretty much remained the same. I won't deny that the fact that he's number 2 has to do with his speech about friendship. It becomes a little corny when you really think about it. But I also thought his sacrifice at the very end was actually really well done, and was one of his shining moments. Overall, I just really, really like Greed. Nothing will change that. And my number 1 favorite homunculi is King Bradley, aka Wrath, from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Talk about badass. This guy can be knocked down and brought right back up again. You see from episode 1 just how powerful he really is. He is basically Authority 101. He commands everything, is a master of the battlefield, and is just basically badass. For a villain, at least. Overall, he is just one of my personal favorites. I also have to admit, I like his relationship with the humans. Unlike the other homunculi, he only has one soul in him, so he cannot regenerate, meaning he is actually technically a little weaker than the other homunculi, though he makes it up with physical strength. I like the fact that he considers humans lesser than him, even though he's closer to the humans than any of the other homunculi, and eventually, once he's had his final battle with Scar and is near death, he admits that he did enjoy the fight and was glad to have done it. Also, I really do like that even though his life was prepared for him, the only one thing he got to choose was his wife, showing that there is something maybe human within him, but not enough to make him not betray father and basically still be the homunculus we know and love. Overall, this is probably my favorite homunculi for a very good reason, and that probably won't change. Anyways, that's all from me. This has been Star 6 Wars 1, and we'll see you guys next time.